What was on my mind this morning? Want to share a couple of things. How's everybody doing? Share this out. Share this out. I'm gonna give y'all a couple of tips, tricks, some game, because I've been in the financial literacy space for a minute, and I've gone through all the different realms, the proper stuff, right? Talking to my financial planner friends, my wealth advisor friends, my CPAs, my hardcore budgeters. I've personally done the Dave Ramsey 7 baby steps, you know, once or twice, because life is a cycle. Sometimes you get in debt, you get out, you get in, you get out. Life is a cycle. I've done that. I've done some minor, small, little, ran some plays at different points, right? Ran some different plays, used credit, ran up the credit, all different types of things. Nothing fraudulent, though. Absolutely nothing fraudulent. You ain't gonna get me. You ain't gonna get me. And I've also gone through the realm of another part of the financial literacy space, which is the FIRE communities, which I love, debt freedom. Also, the more complicated side of things, with things like, setting up your Sister Q's trust and getting your birth certificate and changing your SS4, all those type of things, right? And there's a couple of things that I realize. A lot of this stuff is negotiable. When you're navigating these credit and life streets, when it comes to the money, it's all negotiable. So I'm gonna give y'all an example. There's a lot of credit professionals that talk about, fighting your tickets, right? Fighting your tickets, let's fight your tickets. And I was like, oh snap, I ain't gonna have to pay tickets no more? For real? What the hell? I said, oh, bet. All right, I'm never paying a ticket again. Here's the flip side to that, though. If you don't want to pay a ticket for whatever reason, especially if it's a speeding camera ticket, right? It's going to take a lot of motherfucking time. And for me, I actually value my time. I value my time more than I value my money. So when they tell you don't pay your speeding tickets, you can get this dismissed, that dismissed. What they not telling you is that it still takes a lot of fucking time to get these tickets dismissed. All right? You're going to have to still go up. You still have to show up to court. Okay? So if you are a fiver, or if you work a business, you got appointments, now you got to waste your time and your effort to go to court. When you go to court, what's going on, Jenna? When you go to court, you got to pay for parking. So I'm still spending money to fight this goddamn ticket. So now I got to pay for parking anyway. And then, okay, you go to court, however long you're in court, blah, 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 you get your ticket dismissed. Okay, cool. I've done that a few times. I'm like, okay, let me try this out. Got my tickets dismissed. I'm great, Jenna. How are you? And I got my tickets dismissed, right? But then I get tired. You get tired of doing that. So, all right, let me start doing it through the mail. Let me set up my that, write those up. Okay, cool. Get some tickets dismissed through that. Guess what? Still got to send the mail certified. That costs money. Still got to wait and find Patrick. What's going on, man? How you? Still got to wait for the letters to come back and forth to make sure that they receive your letter, that they're actually going to dismiss the ticket. So I'm still using time and money to fight these damn tickets. I'm still using time and money. By the time I take off of work, go to the courthouse, pay for parking, I done spent damn near what the ticket costs. If it's a $40 ticket, I already done spent that in time and effort. filing motions. If I gotta send a couple of pieces of certified mail, that is still costing me money and time. So what I did was I stopped trying to fight these little camera tickets, right? I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna pay the ticket. But here's the thing though. Sometimes I got some late fees or something like that. Here's the gem, here's the part. Here's the gem, here's the part I want you guys to focus in on. I got them to reduce and remove some of the fees off of the ticket. I got them to remove the late fees. Sometimes when you get a ticket, you don't pay it in time, it doubles, right? I got them to reduce the amount of the ticket simply by asking, hey, and letting them know that, okay, you mailed this to me. I never got the original ticket. I never got the original citation. So you're charging me this late fee, but I never got it, right? Can you waive the late fee? Sure enough, they waived the late fee. They waived the late fee, y'all. So instead of paying a $200 ticket, back down to paying a $50 ticket. Instead of paying a $80 ticket, it's back down to paying a $25 ticket. You see what I'm saying? Like, that is a life hack. When you get a ticket, or if you think your tickets have accrued, or you got, you're now paying double the price because of a late fee or whatever, excuse me, whatever interest they put on there, call them. You can call in the letter, hey, I just got the citation. I didn't even know that y'all sent me a citation. I never got the first one. Can you go ahead and waive or reduce some of these fees? They will waive it. Out of and I keep getting a lot of tickets. I turn on my Waze so it can notify me, but now I don't know what's going on with Waze and Google. They don't tell you anymore, or they don't tell you all the time. Shit is annoying. Hope you have a speedy recovery, Patrick. So I still get some tickets, right? Ask them to reduce or waive some of those fees so you can save some money on the ticket. For me, it's faster, it's easier for me to just pay the ticket. At this point in life, faster, easier to either just avoid turning on my Waze, so Waze will tell me where all the cameras are or where most of, so that I can just avoid getting the ticket altogether, and calling to negotiate. Hey, I didn't get this notice originally, or instead of paying you $40, let me pay you $20, whatever it may be. And going through that process. Because yeah, fighting tickets and stuff is possible, but it'd be a whole lot of time. You know, it'd be too much time taken out of my day for $40. Like, I can just pay this $40 and keep it moving, right? So that's the life hack. Go ahead, do that. Another life hack that I learned is insurance. Not just regular life insurance. Not just accidental death or accidental dismember insurance. But they have something called payment insurance. This is a monthly insurance that you can pay, where if for some reason you're laid off, you're sick, or you injured to the point where you cannot work, this insurance is actually going to kick in and cover your bills. You can buy it at, outside retailers. And this I'm sharing this with y'all because this is a secret insurance. Nobody promotes this shit or talks about it because they don't get a high commission on it, because it may only cost you like an extra $30 a month for them to even do this for you, right? Call your insurance company, ask them about payment insurance or cover your payment insurance. A lot of credit unions offer this. Every credit union that I'm in has offered me this type of insurance when I first opened up my credit accounts with them. So if it was an auto loan, a credit card, a line of credit, they offered it to me, and it was something like, I don't know, $6 per 1,000 that I borrowed or something like that. Now at the time, I'm gonna be, this is retrospect, full transparency, y'all. I'm telling y'all what the life hacks that I learned afterwards and after taking all the beatings. At the time, I was like, man, I don't need that. I'm working, I'm good. Then I transitioned into full-time entrepreneurship, which is hard as fuck, by the way. Full-time entrepreneurship is definitely hard because people don't pay you every day, but the interest accrues on your bills every day, and your bills want to get paid every single month. And people don't like to pay you, and people want to tell you that they're going to pay you but not pay you, right? So hunting down people, try to get this money. And I missed some payments. It happens. I'm the credit protector, absolutely. But what I'm going to tell you guys is I'm going to give y'all the real. I'm going to give y'all the real. You're not always going to make every payment. If you didn't get paid that month, you're probably going to miss a payment. This is why in my last live I mentioned that cash flow is utterly important to having and maintaining good credit, right? You can't have good credit if you're not making money, because you got to be able to pay your bills on time. So anyway, this payment, going back, payment insurance, right? There's like, oh, we got payment insurance. We would have kicked in and covered your bills for you for up to 6 months if you had the insurance. I said, what? Y'all would have covered the payment for me? It's like, yeah. I'm like, for each account that I got the insurance for? Yeah. Get the fuck out of here. So y'all would have covered 6 months of my debt, my bill. You would have serviced my debt for 6 straight months so that I can get myself together and focus on what's important, getting my my life back, right? Or whatever. Yep. I said, get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna get that. Not only am I gonna get it, I'm gonna tell everybody, get this insurance, get this payment protection insurance, even if you don't think you're gonna need it. Because guess what? Everyone thought back during the pandemic everything was sweet. Everybody thought that they was good, and then the pandemic hit. People got sick. People was hospitalized. People were dying left and right. Millions of people around the world. On top of that, people thought things was going to be sweet forever. The government was pumping out more money than it ever printed in the history of the country. People were getting double their unemployment. They had to stay on evictions, so people were just living in their apartments for free. Nobody thought about what would happen once the pandemic was over. They thought, oh, it was going to stay like this forever. Guess what? Pandemic over now. Evictions are happening. People are getting evicted. Collections are coming. Trump said, ain't no student loan forgiveness. Not on the federal level. Don't even look this way. We're not helping y'all. You're done. You should have got it. You should have got it under Biden. You're done, son. That's how Trump and them is moving, because they don't care about us. They don't care about the little guy. They don't care about the employee. They don't care if you're not a multimillionaire. If you're a small business owner and you make $250,000, but your income, your take-home income is $75,000, they don't care about you. They're not worried about you at all. So we got to start looking at these different ways of hacking life and finding different ways to make sure we can protect ourselves, we can stay protected throughout this turmoil. Because you never know, a pandemic may happen, right? And I'm always going to be looking for opportunities, but you also got to have a great offense and a great defense, and these are things that nobody told me about. I just want to share this with y'all, because part of me helping small business owners get access to capital is we're going to have to look at that balance sheet. We're going to have to look at your cash flows. We're going to have to see what's coming in, what's going out. Can you afford this new loan that you're trying to get? So instead of waiting until the last minute, let me go ahead and put this out there so you can take the time, so you can research it, so you can do your due diligence, so you can get some payment insurance. So if another pandemic happens, you're hurt on the job, not only do you have your regular health insurance, not only do you have your accidental injury insurance, but you also have payment protection insurance. So now all of these things will kick in at once, so you can focus on recovering as opposed to scrambling and worrying about losing your house. Right? These are the little things that I picked up. Accidental payment. Payment, what is it called? Payment coverage insurance. A lot of every credit union that I've been a part of and I've gotten some kind of funding from, they have offered it to me. In the past, I turned it down. I didn't know no better. Another little life hack. Having 6 to 12 months of your living expenses. Absolutely important. I would also say, because of course I love credit, have at least $50,000 in available credit at any given time. Why? Because the pandemic, like, shit happens. Too much shit happens. Right? Listen, I'm in a DMV area, right? I'm in a DMV area. Nearly 20,000 federal employees were laid off or furloughed. 20,000 people in the DMV area laid off outright or furloughed. You're technically an employee of the government, but they aren't paying you. What are you going to do? What happens when that happens? Everything's sweet. You're making your $120,000 a year or $80,000 a year. Suddenly you're furloughed. You got nothing. Nothing's coming in. Do you have your 6 months? Do you have your 6 months saved so you can survive? And do you have credit so that you can float some of those payments? Have both. And this is important. On top of this, having your budget set up, so if something like this does happen, you actually know how much exactly you need to live off of. Because it's easy to be like, man, I'm up, I work for the government, it's a stable job, I'm a GS-14, blah blah blah, everything good. But then you're furloughed, or the company you work for, their contract expired with the government. These are real stories that happen. Their contract expired, or their contract didn't get renewed, so now they got to downsize. And who do they downsize? The person they're going to downsize first is the person with the highest payroll. Oh, we paying you 6 figures. All right, let's go ahead and take care of you, get you up out the way first. Right? My sister was a part of that whole thing. So it's not no hypothetical. This is real shit that actually happened. But how can you protect it? What else can we do to protect ourselves and try and stay in position for these type of things? When you're talking to your credit card companies. All right? You're talking to your credit card companies. You don't like the interest rate. Call your credit card company and ask them if you qualify for a lower interest rate. Ask them I would say every month or even every 3 months. There's no really set timeline, right? Call it every day if you want. And ask them, hey, do you guys have any promotions? What promotions do you have? Do you have any promotions on your APRs? Can I get a lower interest rate? Do you have any promotions on your cash back? Can I get a higher cash back? Can I get more points when I spend? Do you have a retention offer? What do you guys got for me? I've been with you for X amount of years. I pay you on time. I pay in full. What type of interest rate do you have? And they'll let you know. They'll say, oh yeah, we got this, we got that. Right? Amex is great with doing this. Chase is, they're not great, but you can call and ask. Right? But Amex absolutely will hit you with those promo offers 100%, especially if you're their top client. Now, let's say you're on the opposite end of the spectrum. Stuff not so sweet right now. You're behind. You came into a financial hardship. Still call your credit card companies. Still call your mortgage. Still call your car, your auto lender, and ask, hey, I'm facing a hardship program right now. I'm facing a hardship right now. Do you have any type of special hardship programs that can help me? Credit card companies have hardship programs. Auto loan financing and service companies have hardship programs. Mortgage service companies have hardship programs. The credit card company might say, yeah, we got a special program. Look, we'll reduce your interest for 6 months. And instead of us charging you, 25% APR, we'll drop it down to a 5% APR. And instead of you having to pay, I don't know, $300 a month, you now only have to pay $120 a month. Make these $120 payments on time for the next 6 months straight, and we won't even count the account as delinquent or delayed. So you save your relationship with that bank. The bank knows that you're trying, right? And you're also saving money. You're not messing up your credit report. You're not delinquent. Why? Because you called them ahead of time. Because you're keeping track of your expenses, so shit might just about hit the fan if you can't make more money or reduce your current expenses. It's totally fine to call the lenders and call them more than once. I have some clients who are like, man, Jamal, I called. They said they ain't got it. Okay, we'll call again. Like, so you called one time. Call again. Call once a month, every month, until somebody is like, yeah, you qualify now. Or yeah, we got that available now. That's literally all it takes. Just be persistent. These are life hacks. Because the credit card company ain't going to tell you this. Your favorite financial guru influencer ain't going to tell you about this. They're not going to tell you about the hardship program. They don't even know that they have a hardship program, that it even exists. They're going to tell you about a CPN and the backdoor method to get in Navy and the Navy auto loan conversion play. Great. You're trying to do the auto loan conversion play. You got the check, but you don't have any way to liquidate the check. So now you're stuck with this check that you can't cash. Great. Good job. That's not financial literacy. That's financial suicide. You got a $75,000 check. You went through the application process. You got a hard pull. Now you're trying to run around and figure out how can I turn this check from Navy Federal into cash. Because you just went off of FOMO, right? Not every play is for everybody. If you don't already have the infrastructure, just let some stuff go. You don't have to try everything just because you see it. It's okay. That's another life hack. Not everything's for you. And you just have to be self-aware enough to know that it's not for you. Totally fine. Totally fine. But anyway, y'all, I'm out of here. Hopefully these tips and tricks are helpful. Try them out. Make the phone calls. Ask for that discount. Ask for the lower interest rate. Ask for that payment protection insurance. Look it up. Google it. Right? Look for individual companies that may offer it if your credit union or your credit card company doesn't offer it. Right? Get in the game of just randomly negotiating with your creditors. Whether you have good credit or bad credit, it doesn't matter. Just start calling them and start trying to negotiate. Use ChatGPT to, another life hack, use ChatGPT to come up with the negotiation strategy before you call. I call my cell phone company every month and be like, hey, there was an interruption in my service. I need a credit on my account. My bill is only $74, but shit, I'm gonna give me 50% off or cover this bill for the whole month because there was an outage. You could do that every single month. When it's time to renew a credit card, ask them to waive the fee. Hey, basic, interest rates are only high if you carry a balance. So it sounds like you're probably carrying a balance on your credit card. Stop doing that. Like, I don't have another way of saying that. You only get charged interest on a credit card when you do not pay off the balance. So there's nothing wrong with the credit card. You have to pay off the balance and you will not get charged interest. That's how that works. If you're unable to pay off the balance, then yeah, don't use the credit card. But if you know that your budget is $4,000 a month, you have an $8,000 credit card, use that credit card to cover all of your regular expenses, which should only be $4,000 a month, and zero out the credit card every single month. You only pay interest on credit cards when you carry a balance. In fact, you have a full 30 days to pay off your credit card in order to avoid interest. Another trick, another life hack that you can do is you can make the decision to only use zero interest credit cards. I have a friend, I actually have a friend who, former friend, who was a manager at Bank of America. And she was just like, Jamal, I never pay interest. I get a zero interest credit card. What's up, Jonathan? I get a zero interest credit card. It's going to give me zero interest for 12 to 15 months. I use that credit card for the year. I put all my expenses on it. And then the next year, when that zero interest is about to expire, I just get another zero interest credit card, do a balance transfer, move that money over to the next zero interest credit card. This is something that the average person just doesn't think about. The average person thinks, oh man, once the zero interest expires, I'm stuck with this high interest rate. Absolutely not. Apply for another credit card, transfer it over. And you can literally continue to do that. There are over 50 zero interest credit cards on the market. If you have like a 680 or 690 credit score, there's literally no reason for anybody to be paying credit card interest if you follow that strategy. I just gave you the whole motherfucking game. You don't need to complain about credit card interest anymore. I just wiped it out. I gave it to you on a silver platter, my person. I don't know if you're boy, girl, whatever. But here's the thing, I can give you that and you still don't do it, and then you turn around, pop back up on another live complaining about interest, and I'm gonna be like, I told you how to avoid that 7 months ago in that live. Did you do it? Nah, I didn't do it because of ABC 1 2 3. You're not serious then. You just want something to complain about. You just want something to complain about. Just gave you the whole play that came from my banker friend. That's exactly the play that they run. That was a freebie for anybody that's dealing with credit card interest. If you're dealing with credit card interest right now, you can go get a 0 interest credit card and do a balance transfer to that 0 interest credit card. Now you no longer are paying credit card interest. It's another life and credit hack. Very easy. But anyway, I'm out. Y'all. Have a great day. Like, subscribe, share this out with other people. If you need help with your funding strategy, with your personal use of credit, and you are trying to figure out how to dig yourself out of a situation, hit me up, book, schedule a time with me. We could talk about it, or we could talk about getting you some funding. All right. Peace.